My name is Saleemul. I'm the Director of the International Center for Climate Change and Development at the Independent University Bangladesh. Today is the 27th of January 2020 and I'm going to report back on the just recently completed 6th annual Gobeshona conference on climate change research into action held at the Independent University Bangladesh over the last week. I'm going to highlight a number of things that took place there. The first one being the launch of the locally led adaptation track of the Global Commission on Adaptation, which is a global commission co-chaired by Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Mr. Bill Gates and Ms. Kristalina Georgieva. We had a presentation and a launch by Mr. Ban Ki-moon of the locally led adaptation track, which we, ICCCAD and Gobeshona, are going to take forward. Then after that opening launch, we had a number of sessions to discuss what to do, and in particular from our perspective as researchers, how we can do both the monitoring and evaluation, but also even more importantly, the learning. So instead of just M and E, we will do M, E and L, the learning, where the learning comes first and the monitoring and evaluation come later. And we're going to be doing this together with our partners in the least developed countries universities consortium on climate change. We call it LUC for short. We had about 20 of our LUC partners here attending Gobeshona, and then they stayed on for a 2-day planning meeting where we discussed in more detail how we would carry out the monitoring, evaluation and learning in particular on community-based adaptation, working with the most vulnerable communities in the least developed countries where we are located. And that's an area of work that we are going to take forward going forward. And what we plan to do is to make the meeting every year in January in Dhaka, the Gobeshona meeting, the location for those people who are working, including the LUC partners, on learning, monitoring and evaluation of locally led adaptation or community-based adaptation or even ecosystem-based adaptation, to come together and share our learning with each other as we go forward. So we hope that this will now become a more major global event on the locally led adaptation community of practice and particularly community of researchers. Besides that, we also did a couple of other important things. We had a competition for the best published scientific paper. We encouraged people to submit their scientific peer-reviewed journal articles that they had published in the last year. We had well over 30 applications or submissions. We shortlisted 15, out of which the jury of experts finally selected 4. There was a prize for first, second and third. Third prize was a tie between 2, so we had 4 prizes, and we had our award ceremony where we gave the prizes to the winners, and this was a very nice occasion that highlighted and celebrated young researchers publishing in international peer-reviewed journals. What we want to do is to support quality research as opposed to just mediocre research, and we are very pleased to see that take off, and that will become a regular feature for Gobeshona conferences from now on. And then finally, we are celebrating here at ICCCAD, at the International Center for Climate Change and Development at Independent University Bangladesh, our 10th year. So 2020 is our 10th year anniversary or celebration. We're going to be doing quite a few events during the course of the year. The Gobeshona conference was the first in the series, so we have started our celebration of a year. And during this year, we were going to also be planning our next decade. So we're 10 years old now, 1 decade has gone. We want to now plan the next decade from 2021 to 2030. And so next year at Gobeshona 7, what we plan to do is to invite, and I would like to hereby also let all of our ICCCAD alumni, if you've been to ICCCAD on a short course or a visiting researcher or come and spend some time with us, we consider you ICCCAD alumnus or ICCCAD alumni. We have well over 500 or 600 alumni from 40 or 50 different countries around the world. We would like to invite as many of them as can manage to do so to come and join us next year in January. The dates are the 21st to the 24th of January 2021. If you can come and be here, you'll be our guest. You'll have to pay for your own travel. We can't pay for your travel, but we can look after you if you can manage to come to Dhaka. And for those of you who can't come, we would like to engage with you online and try and do a collective enterprise of planning what we can do together for the next 10 years to actually make the whole world resilient to the impacts of climate change, which is our #1 priority.